Dear students, in this session we will see how to create a Java file with classes and objects in Eclipse environment. First we will go to File, New, Java Project. So we'll give a name for the Java project, Classes, Object. Okay, so the environment is already installed with my Java JDK with 14 version. So then I will click with finish. So create a module. So I don't want to create a module. Okay, so now I got in the left side I have the file explorer, so I can explore it. In the source file nothing is there, so I right click, go to new, create a class. Okay, so here I am going to create a class called as sample. So I am going to use with public static main should be defaultly come. So I click finish. So I got the code. So I am just writing one print statement. Okay, welcome Java classes and objects. Welcome Java classes and objects. So I want to run it. So this is the run button. So I can run it. So your program is compiled and run. So you got a output at the right side of the output window. So now you want to exhibit the classes and objects concept. So I want to create a class. So I am going to create a class with class rectangle. So it has two data members. So I am going to add the data members int length and int breadth, followed by I want to add a function member. So I am going to add a function member. The function member do the job of calculating the area. So I am going to use with calculate area. So what I want to calculate with the area? So I know the formula, area equal to length into breadth. After calculating, I want to display it. So I am going to display the area of rectangle is. The area of rectangle is, I put one space, plus is for concatenation, then I am calculating the area. So my step one class creation is ready. The next step, I want to create the object. So step two is object creation. So already you know the syntax. So class name followed by object name equal to new class name. Okay, so class name, object name equal to new class name. Instead of doing this, I can do like this also. Rectangle R1, I can write it as a separate statement. Then R1 equal to new rectangle. I can write it in two statement or I can write it in a single statement. So first step is actually declaration and the second step is memory allocation. Okay, so now I will follow the first method in a single line. So I am going to hide it. Okay, so now I created the object. So now I am going to my step 3. The step 3 is accessing the members of the class. Step 3, accessing the members of the class. So for that I have to use the operator called as dot operator. Okay, dot operator. So dot operator I have to use. So I can use with R1 dot. So here IDE, it will show you the possibilities. So what are the members of the class? So breadth is there, length is there, calculation of area function is there. So R1 dot length is equal to 10. R1 dot breadth is equal to 10. Now I want to calculate the area. So I have to call the function. So R1 dot calculate area. Okay. So these are accessing the members of the class using the dot operator. So first step, class creation, second step object creation, third step accessing the members. So now you run the program. So I get the area of the rectangle is 10 into 10 is 100. Okay. Next, if I want to create new instance of a class, then I have to use rectangle R2 equal to new rectangle. So it will create a new instance of an object. Okay. So R1 is different and R2 is different. So I am going to use with R1 dot length is equal to 5. R2 dot length breadth is equal to 2. So R1 object is different, R2 object is different, but both having the common property of length and breadth. So I am going to use with R1 dot calculate area. So if I run it, first will be 100 and second one will be 10. Okay. So if I want to make any changes, the changes if I do in R2 object will not be reflect back in R1 object. There is another way you can create the object. So I am using rectangle R3 equal to R2. Okay, I am assigning object 2 to object 3. So this is actually called as object reference. So when I do like this, what happens if I try to print what is the value of R3 dot length? Okay, so R3 getting a reference from R2. So R2 object and R3 object both will point to the same memory location. So if I print the value, both will point to the same memory location. So R3 dot length also 5, R2 dot length also 5. If I try to update R2 dot length is equal to 100, immediately what happened, the changes I made in R2 got reflected in R3 also. So if you run now and check, the values of R3 dot length is changed to 100, R2 dot length is changed to 100. So whenever you create the object with the new keyword, it will create a new instance of the object. Okay, but whenever you use the equal to operator, it will copy the object reference from one object to the another object. Okay, so the same way, instead of creating the class in a single file, I can create the class in another file and access it inside this class. Okay, how to do that? So maybe in your program you may have some more than 3 classes to be created. So that time if you try to code all the 3 classes inside a single file, then debugging is very difficult. Also if I want to change something else, I have to go through the entire program. So as a better performance and the better programmer, you have to create each class in a separate files. Okay, so now I am going to create another one file. So new class. I am going to create a class called as box class. This class I am not going to have any main methods, so I am not going to have any main. Okay, so I am going to use only with int length and int breadth and int depth. I have 3 data members and I have one function member which will calculate the volume of the box. Okay, which will calculate the volume of the box. So you know the volume formula equal to volume equal to length into breadth into depth. Okay, so now I want to print it. So S out the volume is, so I print the volume value. Okay, so this class only data member, function member only I have created and I am saving in the class called as box.java. So now I am going to my main program, and what I am going to do is I am going to create the object for the box class. Okay, I am going to create the object for the box class. So box b is equal to new box. So I don't have any error because this object class and sample class all will be available inside the same package. They are grouped under a same package. So I can access the box class inside the sample class. Okay. So now I am going to use the b dot, immediately showing breadth, depth and length. So breadth, depth, and then I am going to use with depth, and then I am going to use with length. Okay, I want to access the data member. The data member is actually calculate volume. Okay, so without having this code inside the same file, I am having the code in a separate file called box.java, but I am trying to access in another file called as sample.java by creating an object. Okay, so this is happening due to that two classes or the two Java files are available in the same package. That's why we are able to access the box class inside the sample class. So now you run it. I got the volume of the boxes 125. Thank you.